Give it a few minutes, wait for people to jump on. All right, everybody good out there? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, TSL, let's get it. There is a huge, huge difference that you're going to see in your life when you shift from being solely goal focused to becoming lifestyle oriented. And I put up a clip this morning of a viewer chimed in and said, "Well, what is lifestyle? What do you mean by that?" And that's what the purpose of today's episode is to shift from being everything, we're starting a new year, and everything that you heard about from November and December on, at the beginning of this year, is all about what are your goals? What are your goals? And goals are important. It's not that goals shouldn't be a part of your life, but they should not be the sole focus of your life. And instead, what I want you to take away from this episode is that you begin to center your life or build your life and build your success around being lifestyle oriented. And this is what's going to keep you growing. This is going to keep you from being stagnant. Because there are three things that we fight, all of us, all walks of life, from rich and powerful and famous to everyday common people. And the three things that we fight are uncertainty, adversity, and complacency. And this is what I built the sales life on. Because top producers that are in the top of their field in sales, they don't have the luxury of being able to be certain about what they're heading into. They don't know what kind of adversity that they're going to face. And if they don't sell anything, then they're going to lose their top spot. And so it's the same skills that top producers have learned are the same skills that you need to learn in your life. I'm living proof of that. Because what I did is I took the skills, and there's 5 of them that I learned in the sales profession. I've been selling for 24 years, and I've transferred them to every area of my life to handle some of the worst moments in my life. And so instead of running and resisting and turning to vices and just settling, now with the 5 skills, you'll be able to embrace the uncertainty. You'll handle the adversity, and you'll never settle again. And there's 5 core skills that top producers use. And it's the same skills that you can use in your life, and they all start with the letter C. It's communication, curiosity, creativity, continuous learning and action, and a productive confrontation. You master these 5 skills, you'll always be in the game. You'll be ready for anything. And then when you find that things aren't working for you, you'll be able to look at one of these and which one of these am I not communicating enough? Am I not being creative enough? Am I not curious? Am I living out of statements? Am I not productively confronting some things? Have I stopped learning? See, these are questions these are quick little checks that you can do to check to see, hey, am I in the game? Am I backsliding here? Am I running from the adversity? Am I looking for a sure thing? That ain't going to get you anywhere successful in life. And so you build these things around and you'll be successful, no doubt. So I'm so happy that you're here. I'm Marsh Bice. Also, if you like to catch the sales life, you can catch it on the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. So if you're on the go and you want to listen to it, it's top 3% podcast in the world. So let's rock out quickly with today's episode. And it's about building a lifestyle and being lifestyle oriented instead of just solely goal focused. Because here's the thing about a goal. A goal, as noble as they are, will set you up to fail. I'm living proof of that too. Because many times, and we're all we can all testify to this. You've set a goal, you embark on it, and you didn't realize how long it was going to take or how much it was going to cost you. And so you just give up. You give up and you go back to the life as you know it. And you just think that it's just not for me. It's not true. It's because you set a goal instead of building a lifestyle. Or maybe you're one of those rare souls who achieved a goal. You set it, you got it, but then what? Then you let up. I'm living proof of that too. See, when I lost the 60 pounds, that was one of the worst moments in my life. You wouldn't think so, but it was. And the reason being is because I lost the 60 pounds, and when I lost the weight, I lost the hunger too. See, I had no reason, nothing to fight for in the mornings anymore. So I started working a little bit less. I started sleeping in a little more. And I made exceptions of what I was eating. And this is where things get tricky, because I lost the hunger and I began making small exceptions, then, a broken meal here, a couple beers there, some late nights, some late mornings. And little by little, man, I lost my disciplines. And when you get on the scale, it's only 5 pounds. No big deal. Compared to the 60 pounds that I lost, I'm still 55 up, right? But then when you keep doing this and you keep making these exceptions, now you're 7 pounds over. Well, I'm still good. I'm still 43 or 53 to the good. Another exception. Before you know it, you're 10 pounds over. Well, I'm still 50 pounds to the good. And see, you keep making these excuses, right? You keep changing the narrative and you keep making these adjustments. And then so sometimes when you get to these moments where you say, okay, well, whoa, I'm 15 pounds. Now I gotta tighten up. So then you'll lose 3, but then you'll make an exception because you lost the 3 quickly, and you've lost it before, that you can quickly get it back when you really need to. Just, I'm okay right now. And there's always a reason, right? It's the weekend. I'm out with friends. It's a celebration. Long week, long month, whatever. You can always justify it. You can always justify bad behavior. So you make these exceptions, man, and you lose the 3, but then you pick back up 2. And even though you're less than where you started, slowly you're starting to keep the weight. It might be you might gain 5 and lose 3, but you net out 2. You're still 2 pounds heavier. And if you do that life is very patient. Tendencies are very patient. I like to say bad habits, I like to call them tendencies, because they're things that you tend to do without even thinking about it. And habits are the plus side of it. They're things that you have to force yourself first to get that momentum going, but they're always present. And so when you have tendencies versus habits, the tendencies have outweighed the habits, and you start slipping and regressing. And this is how you give all the results back, whether it be in weight loss, whether it be you paid everything off and you're debt free, but then you splurge a little bit and it doesn't seem like much. And then you just keep catching it back up. And then before you know it, you're back in the hole, if not worse. And this is what actually happens. So what I want you to instead do is I want you to create a lifestyle instead of being solely goal focused. Know where you're going. That's important. Know what you want. That's important. But then build a lifestyle around this. If you create a lifestyle, this is what's going to always keep you in the game. And actually, because it's a lifestyle and it's ongoing and you're always evolving, that when you smash the goal, when you smash the objective that you wanted, it's no big deal because I wasn't even really interested in the goal. That's good. Because the thing about goals is, what if I set it too low and there was more available? But based on my narrow perspective or lens that I'm looking through or associations that I keep, if I don't realize there's more out there that I'm capable of, then I set the goal too low. But if you set your life up by developing a lifestyle, well, as you evolve, your awareness opens up, your eyes open up, your gaze looks up, and you see, damn, I can do more. Let's go. Creating a lifestyle is what's going to keep you out of the peaks and valleys. You hear people that they hit the skids, they hit a hard time in life or something, they all of a sudden had to start working more or had to catch 2 jobs or whatever. Well, they lost sight of the goal because they had to give up the goal to take care of whatever the obligations were. But see, when you've created a lifestyle, because your lifestyle is fluid, you can have increased burdens in your life. And you don't abandon the lifestyle. You just make the necessary adjustments. Because the goal is not the sheer importance. It's progressive movement, progressive upward climb, progressive improvement. And so I stay in the game. I'm ever evolving. It's so exhausting, isn't it? When you set a goal and you achieve it, and then you let up, and you take an off season, and you take a vacation, a long week off. It's exhausting when you get back in the game. Wipes you out. And it's so inconsistent. And then you spend God knows how much time beating yourself up for letting yourself slip. Aren't you tired of that? Well, if you create a lifestyle, you'll never have to worry about that again because everything centers around the lifestyle. And whenever things pop up, what's that little game where the little gophers pop up and you hit them with the hammer? So when things pop up, man, you could smash that thing. You'll be in better shape to smash it. You could smash that thing, smash the object. You can work more. You can sleep less. You can still eat right. You're still powered. You still hit your checkpoints and you're good. So create a lifestyle instead of a goal. All right. So here's how you do it. I would recommend putting you 4, 5, 6 things, really a handful of things, of marks, mile markers, checkpoints. I like to call them checkpoints. I call them beats that I hit every day. Call it a checkpoint. Call it whatever you want to, whatever rings for you. But if you develop this lifestyle, these are marks that I got to hit all throughout the day. And so you put it in where it's not so overwhelming. It's actually so easy to do. You just get it done. You just check the box because they're individually focused. right? So you just get to that checkpoint, then you go to the next one. The first one in creating a lifestyle is get up at the same time every day. Day off, same time every day. Vacation, same time every day. Weekends, same time every day. I do. I get up at the same time every single day because I don't want to break the flow of momentum. I want to just keep things going. And I can still, because I take care of everything so early in the morning, I could still be there for my family. And actually, they get a better version of me because I took care of me. I took care of the things that benefit my life and will enable me to become successful mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, relationally. 6 points. Take care of all those things first thing in the morning. So, the first thing I would tell you to do is set a time that works for you that is a non-negotiable, no matter what. And you can get, but you got to adjust the time so that way it's not variable and you hit it every single day. All right. The next thing that you're going to do after you get up is I want you to write 1 page. Grab a legal pad of paper. I have these. Actually, I ordered a trunk from Walmart, man. Big trunk. Make sure my microphone's still on. So I've bought the leather-bound journals before. I've done all that. It just didn't work for me. I just buy a big old pack of these legal pads, and I write every single day. So set a goal to write just 1 page every single day. And one thing that'll be a good primer for you, and because sometimes, you're sitting down cold turkey in the mornings until you develop this muscle to be able to create, is record your voice in your voice memo app. Record your thoughts all throughout the day, observations, lessons learned, interesting conversations, aha moments, something you heard from a podcast or read out of a book or saw on a video. Just capture it. And then that way, I have like nearly 3,000 of them recorded in my phone. That way, when I sit down early in the morning, it's already a primer for me. So I just go and I find ones, and I don't stop until I find the one that actually resonates with me. I say, ooh, I needed this one today. And then I run with that thought. And I say, can't get up until you finish this 1 page. And it normally takes me, I normally set aside about 15, 20 minutes. There's times where I've done 5. But my 1 page, quote unquote, is normally like 3 pages by the time it's all said and done. Because you're going to find that once you get to the end of that page and you force yourself to get to the end of the page, that it's like that dam breaks loose in your mind and the free flowing thoughts just begin to flood out. And then, dude, you're just rolling. Because some of my best work has come on page 2, not on page 1. And so you just free flow with those things. And you do this, man. And what that's going to do is this is going to help you play empty-minded, not absent-minded. The reason why you're absent-minded is because you have a full mind. You're so inundated with all of these things, the burdens, the troubles, the whatever that comes throughout your day, and your mind is just about to explode. When people say that, it's because they're full minded. They haven't released, they don't have an outlet. And the outlet is not in alcohol, it's not in drugs, it's writing it on that piece of paper, liquefying your thoughts, man, getting that out, emptying it out. A lot of times giving yourself your own guidance. And then that way you clear some space for new observations, for new creativity. It's like a weight off your shoulder, man. That piece of paper is your best friend. It's the one you can pour everything into and don't have to worry about it talking back or talking about you. You just write. So you're going to get up at the same time every single day. You're going to write at least 1 page every single day. Sometimes it's more. Just let it go. I prefer to write versus type. And when I find that when you type, you self-censor yourself. And when you write, you just free flow. Don't worry about the edits or anything like that. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to work out every day, man. Some sort of movement. I go to the gym every single day. On Sundays, 6 days a week. On the 7th day, I That's my free flow day, and that's days where I actually work on new exercises, new routines, try new things, because during the week I'm pretty pressed for time. I'm pretty tight. So that is my kind of my free flow day where I can just kind of play around with different equipment and stuff like that, get some better feels of them, and then incorporate that into the following week. But 7 days a week, man, you're going to do that. Now, while I do that, 7 days a week, you're going to work out. Now, while I do that, I listen to podcasts and I listen to audiobooks. And so not only do I set time aside, which is the third point. So let's see, you wake up, you're going to write a page, you're going to work out. A fourth point. Fourth point is then you're going to learn. And learning actually comes while you're working out. Capturing any sort of thoughts, any ideas, captured in your phone, in your voice memo app. That way you can reference back to it later. But I try to set aside about 30 to 45 minutes throughout the day to read from about 3 or 4 different books. I don't just power through one book. I like to get a wide range of books. So what I'll do is I'll set my timer on my Fitbit for about 10 minutes, and I'll pick a chapter that most interests me. I'll grab 3 or 4 random books off the shelf here, and I'll just take them and roll through them. About 10 minutes on each one. And dude, I capture so much. And I guess what? I was able to read 4 books that day. Not 4 total books in a day. I got from 4 books. And it gives me a bigger range to learn from and to apply. And I don't try to make anything. I don't try to create a podcast or an episode out of that. I capture the thought and I come back to it later in my writing time the following morning. By the end of the day, man, I'm so mentally whipped I don't usually write because I'm just drained. And so I normally try to keep the writing first thing in the morning when I'm freshest. So learning is all throughout your day, but by the time it's all said and done, because I'm working out at the gym, that's about an hour and 20 minutes. On the commute to and from work, that's another probably 30 minutes or so. So that's an hour and 20 hour plus 30. So let's just round it off to a quick 2 hours. And then if I grab 3 or 4 books in 10 minutes a chop, then I've got almost 3 hours of reading and learning time in. Now, I would tell you this, even if you don't like to read, start your timer for 5 minutes and just read whatever you can in 5 minutes. Doesn't matter how slow, doesn't matter how fast. It's not how much you read, it's what you apply to your life from what you read. So don't worry about, "Oh, I read a book a month." Who gives a shit if you don't do anything with it? If your life's the same as it was, if your life's the same next year as it is this year, then I don't care which book you read. There's people who read the Bible and their life don't change. So, um, so set the time aside for about 5 minutes. And the reason why I say that, if you don't like to read, because what this is going to enable you to do is you're going to learn to slow your thoughts down. This is what I call it calms the ADD down. So all that, fidgeting that you're doing on screen time and, somebody who likes your comment or repost or whatever, or, then you get so ADD, man, that you're just fidgety. Like, you're like a crackhead. And so reading, taking that 5, 10, 15 minutes to read, put your phone face down, get from a physical book if you can, so that way you're not distracted on an electronic device, and then read, then what that's going to do is that's going to help slow it's going to slow life. It's going to slow things down for you. And you're going to actually strengthen your focus time like a muscle. And then you're going to learn when you do this repeatedly, you'll be able to focus better in the moments that you're in meetings that you're in. And you'll be able to discipline yourself to, this is not the time. This is the time to focus. It's not the time to be on my phone. All right. So learning goes throughout the day, but you should try to start with 30 minutes, whatever works for you, and then build it from there. Like I said, I'm right around 3 hours or so for the most part. Some days it's longer, some days it's a little bit shorter. The other part that I want to remind you about, which is super important, is capturing these thoughts. Capture it on your voice memo app. That way you can capture your raw thoughts. And also where you kept it. If you write it down on something, you may not be able to read your handwriting like me. or also you don't know which legal pad you put it in. So if you record it, you got one location. If you get a new phone, it's going to transfer to the next phone anyway, and you just keep it and you keep rolling over. That's how I got 3,000 voice memo apps or voice memos. I've switched phones since then, but they just roll over to the next phone. The next thing of creating a lifestyle, of building a lifestyle. So you're getting up at a set time every single day. You're writing one page every single day. You are working out and learning. And the next thing I want you to do, I want you to share. Now, so many people say, Marsh, I don't do stuff like what you do. I don't do motivational stuff. But you don't have to. There's an area in your life that you excel in. And so maybe it's how to spend quality time with your family or things that you and your family like to do that others could benefit from. Maybe you're into cooking. Maybe you're into making 10-minute meals that just pop. Whatever. Maybe it's certain books. Maybe it's your career that you've excelled at. There's an area, no matter, you may be losing in one area in your life, but there's other areas too that you're doing really well in. And that's the thing that is mandated for you to share. You got to share, man. Share with somebody else and share what you know because they need it. And so don't discount the fact of what comes easy to you. It's hard for someone else. So don't just discount that. Share that so that way other people can learn. That's your mandate, man. You have to do that. You must, in whatever form that is, whether it's a video, whether it's a static post, which is like a picture and some writing underneath it, whether it's a blog, whatever. But I would challenge you to do as many versions of it as you can because people learn in different ways. And like anything, it's not, number one, you're not going to get millions right off the bat. Don't even do it for that. Do it for you. That way you cleanse the soul, man. You empty yourself out. You shared, you gave back, and you're opened up to receive more. But then also if it just doesn't come out really well, keep doing it. The more you do it, the better you'll actually get at it. All right. And let's see, the last part, plan your meals. That's creating a lifestyle around your success or obtaining success by building a lifestyle, however you want to look at it. So it's planning your meals. I can't stress to you enough. There's a lot of times so many emotional decisions are made because you don't know what you're going to eat and you emotionally eat. And so most of my meals, my meals take in the mornings. I do all my meals in the morning and they're super simple and you should keep this thing very simple too. And so all my meals take about 30 minutes to make because I have the air fryer, I have a stove, I have a microwave, I have all those going all at once. And so I've developed a cadence so that way I can put some things together, have them all laid out, have all my little meal preps out, the trays, the measuring cups and all that. I always said I wouldn't measure anything, but I do now. Track everything, man. And so when you do that, I'm more consistent and I've been able to just get in incredible shape, best shape I've ever been in my entire life. I'm less weight than I was when I was in high school. And dude, I was an offensive tackle at one time. So people look at me and like, what position did you play? I'm 192 pounds now. I was 275 back in the days. And people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, I was an offensive lineman back in the days, man, but I don't need it. I ain't need it no more. So I got rid of it. So planning your meals, man, is super important. See, these are, so just to recap it one more time. So see, when you build this lifestyle, I'm just evolving. So it doesn't matter what events, how my visions change, what more I want, what I'm not willing to go for anymore and want to shift directions. Doesn't matter. My lifestyle just adjusts with it. But I have these checkpoints that are there, they're staples. And no matter how my life differs in different areas from the external world, it stays the same because I hit these things. I get up at the same time every single day. I write one page every single day. I learn every day. I work out every day. I share something of valuable content every day that I'm good at, and you are too. You just got to find what that is. And then I plan my meals. I know what I'm going to do. And even if you start late in life, this is how you pass people up. People that are more successful than you, you'll lap them because they're going to let their disciplines, they'll be goal focused. They'll have the big house. They'll have the pretty wife. They'll have the pool in the backyard. They'll have the 2 kids. They'll have private school. They'll have their 401k plan. They'll have all that. And then they'll let up because they got the goal, but they did not build a lifestyle. You will, and you'll pass them up. All right. Let me know what your takeaways are from this. Drop it in the comments below. Also, again, check out the Sales Life podcast, top 3% podcast in the world. Remember, the greatest sale that you will ever make is to sell you on you. Keep it simple, keep it moving, never settle. Keep selling, stay in the sales life. Peace.